Hello, hello. With the release of Banshee Prime fast approaching, and as one of the 0.5% of the player base playing Banshee actively, I figured I'd do a little bit of Banshee propaganda. So, Banshee as a Dojo Frame is someone that you'll want to... You can get her very early, and she's very powerful once you have her set up. And you can actually get her set up in the mid game. So you'll need access to... Ooh, got a finger here. You need access to the Helminth, and you'll need to have finished the War Within so you can get to Kuva Fortress, so you can get Harrow. Because I will be leaning very heavily on Condemn. Optionally, you can farm either Varuna or Citrine, and you'll want, for this build, Arcane Blessing and Health Conversion, which is a pretty standard build for health tanks. I'll cut over to the game and demonstrate some gameplay and techniques so you can see how it all works together. And I'll showcase some builds as well. So, without further ado, time for some editing magic. Right, see you on the flip side. Okay, hello. Unfortunately, I don't have hand tracking, so we're stuck with my arms pinned by my side here. But here's the two basic builds. Don't mind about Origin System and Diveri. It's like one mod difference. We have Streamline versus Equilibrium. That's it. That's the difference. So we've got two basic builds for you. I would recommend the Soundquake, or specifically the Resonating Quake build, for non-Steel Path content, because Resonating Quake is a very, very powerful crowd control ability. And then we're exploiting one of the sort of boilerplate health tank builds. So you can see the main kind of tricky mods to get. Don't mind about preparation. Health Conversion, Arcane Blessing is from Conjunction Survival, and Fractured Blast is Citrine from Mirror Defense. But once you have those together, you can get up and going with Banshee. Then for the Diveri and Origin and sort of Steel Path build, we'll show the Steel Path build. We rely, as I was saying earlier, on Condemn, which I will demonstrate. It's a very, very powerful defensive tool. And as for Banshee's sort of big appeal, I think the two things people know Banshee for, or the main thing people know Banshee for, is Sonar. But Silence, the combined action of Silence and Condemn is extremely effective. So what Silence does is it stops everything that annoys you. So no more Eximus casts, or almost everything. It stops Eximus casts, it stops Infested from doing infested nonsense like Grapple Wires, Osprey Clouds. Doesn't stop the mowers, but whatever. That's not really a big issue. And Condemn, because of how much range we're running, or with 145% range, Condemn, you can see, has 29 meters of range, spreads out 3 meters, CCs enemies, shield gates use, how much do we get? 232 per hit. So 2 enemies hit with Condemn, and we're shield gated. I much prefer Condemn to Pillage as a shield gating ability, because Pillage doesn't stop things from shooting you, but Condemn does. So if you have enemies condemned, then your shields are back to full and nothing is shooting you anymore. So it's a very sort of mellow, accessible kind of playstyle. Just make sure I'm back on my Quake build. So just to sort of demonstrate what this all does. In theory, by the way, this puts you up at about 6,000 effective hit points, which is half of what Nasia, about a bit better than half of what, like a basic Umbral Nasia can get you. I think 30,000. Oh, okay, so maybe more like 20% of what a basic Umbral Nasia can get you. But with Banshee's CC kit, that's not going to be an issue. With a damage output, that's not going to be an issue. So let's head over to the Simulacrum. Okay, Simulacrum time. Because this is a sort of a low-level build, I'll just show you some low-level enemies rather than 195 Gokstad officers. Oh, worth noting that silence does not stop ancient auras. So healers, disruptors. If you want to deal with that for like complete control, pack a radiation weapon. Otherwise, just shoot the ancients. Yeah. Corrupted heavy gunner. I'm also running. I'm running Fatality on this build just for a little bit of safety while we get set up. But you will very rapidly build up to, what is it? Yeah, about 10,000 EHP as long as you can keep the health orbs going. The Stelter is also a very easy weapon to get. Obviously I'm running Steel Path mods, but even without them. So, what was that, 14k? Yeah, you can deal about 1,000 damage, I think, without Steel Path mods. So you can see we're getting shot, it's not doing anything. Kill a guy, get my health back. Yeah, your health economy is going to be fine. No, nothing can really shoot you. If you need to defend an objective... Oh, I'm going to show you something as well. See, that guy has... Oh, it actually didn't really do that much damage, did it? But on softer targets, because these are corrupted heavy gunners, if you get a sonar proc on an enemy's body, it will... Please say nice and comfy. If you get a body proc on an enemy's torso, it'll actually magnify your quake damage. Very nice to have. Obviously it doesn't really do anything against these guys, because you can see, yeah, nice and comfy, everything's in control. Absolutely no issues, no drama, no stress. So much for the horrible squishy frame, right? Then if we swap around to the Origin system build, or the Condemn build, you'll see it's kind of the same story, right? Got to be a little bit more careful, but you'll see it's still absolutely no drama. Yeah, I just have one more comment at the end, but we'll get there. see, she's got great damage output, access to armor removal. Not that it's necessary because you have sonar. Great CC, just perfect control over the situation at all times. Yeah, so, I mean, that's the Simulacrum demonstration. You may not believe me. I will, as a side video, upload some build tests. So that'll be about probably 40 minutes unedited of proof, hopefully, that Banshee is very, very apt for whatever content you want to bring her for. Yeah, so that's it. Please look forward to Banshee. She's coming out soon on Prime Resurgence. And let's see if we can bump that 0.53% usage rate up to a healthy 0.54. Tell your friends. Pick up Banshee, show her off. Do a little bit of propaganda of the deed, in the less terroristic sense of that word, and have a good time. She's an amazing frame, one of my all-time favorites. Yeah, so that's it. Hopefully I've swayed you a little bit, and I'll catch you for the next video. Toodles.